Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 188, Casual Conversations 100. We have made it to a Part 100 of the Casual Conversations sub-category of the Language, Litigation, and Integration lecture series, where, as always, we are documenting the life sucks, cocks, dicks, just like in a hot tub time machine. But Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7 of the United States Constitution continues to just be trounced and shitted on left and right. Actually, I'm in a good mood today. I've been eating better. But I'm not kidding. I'm the victim of the most prolific crime ever. My constitutional rights are violated. I have a bar and restaurant I can't advertise properly. I have a patent I can't value properly. I have almost 700 pieces of intellectual property I cannot distribute properly. I cannot collect contractually owed money for solving solutions that have been publicly posted, that you need to publicly post for 2 years. They've been publicly posted for 6. 7 going on 8 now. Well, again, 6 for sure, 7 going on 8 since I've been knowing what I'm doing, starting to email people thinking about this stuff. So, we're doing the same thing, current events and talking points, relevant and random stories, just like a couple quick points. First, again, I posted my Financial Trading Basics Part 54, Bad Ideas, getting another recorded phone call with these people. I just wanted to put on record that was recorded the same day that I talked to the other chick. I said, thank you for being reasonable. Again, it's just like, fucking mid-level manager, fucking tax collector, cunt, fuck you, stop extorting me. Which again, I was literally being extorted. They just made up random numbers. I sent them my, again, tax return, I sent them my account statement, and I sent them a legal notice. And then I asked them for in writing resolution saying we see that we fucked up, and to which they've not responded. So I'm just sitting here like, are they going to extort $7,000? And I'm talking about literally sending a notice, or like somehow just going into my bank account and taking it, seizing my assets because they just like to steal. And so that video was recorded the same day, but it's just, you can just hear this fucking chick. I mean, I asked her if she can read, because I just finished talking to her. She's like, you have to verify that the taxpayer. I hate when statute law is A through Z and you only enforce A through C, and because you don't enforce D through Z, and because D through Z is violated, I have to fucking jump around and I can't function in society, and you enforce A through C, it's fucking extortion. It is just extortion. But you can hear she's all just like, how? She literally said, asking if I can read is crossing a line. Why? Do you, again, literacy is actively reading and writing, like I do all day. And other people, they get offended because they don't know how to behave, and then they transmit and assert any authority over you, and they scapegoat you, which is, again, 100% of all human interactions I have ever had. Ever. And so, it's just, those people are disgusting. We know their voice, we know where they work, and get them out of society. They're being sued for harassment, they're being sued for extortion, and they're being sued at full rate for my time for a month and a half, or whatever it is. All documented, all public, like everything else. So that's really the only story, just updating you that the upload, I just forgot to upload the video. But then you can hear like getting mad, like these calls are being recorded as I'm literally documenting criminal activity, recording everything. It's like, yes, I know, I am the victim of crime. It is actually occurring. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody fucking cares. But that was really, but then you hear she's like, you're not writing anything down. No, I'm most literally writing everything down. Like literally part 100 of a subpart of 188 of a lecture series made to document criminal activity being perpetrated against me because people will not do their jobs. Gary Lewis Jr., Chief of Police of Bexley, Peter Patton, shooting coach at Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, who's been stealing my intellectual property since the rip. But Mark Cuban's such a fucking scumbag. Such a fucking scumbag. Don't worry, I'm gonna do everything I can to take every penny you have, and your daughters, or anyone in your family over the age of 18, 3 generations of your family are getting the fuck out of this world. Same with Peter Pat, you guys are criminals. You guys are absolutely fucking criminals. Because again, it's amazing. When someone, like I said, if someone's the victim of crime, you could call the local news station, they would run a story. You would have support from your family or community. I don't have a community to support me at all. I have no fucking family members that support anything I do. And so, it's one thing to have like a lecture series or a this or that is not successful on YouTube. It's nothing to be the victim of crime, and that's why it's not successful. And then it exposes you to have more crime committed against you, and then you get denigrated for it occurring. Blame the victim. It is no different than a 14-year-old getting raped by a respected person in the community, and then they blame the 14-year-old. that I will sit here, I will wait, I'll write it all fucking down, and there was no forgiveness, there was just fucking punishment. You fucking idiots fucking deserve it. But the breakfast casserole that I cooked has been a great success. So I also wanted to put that on record. Since Grafton Park, when you really started fucking me up about that, the kayak, I have not been eating solid breakfast. And I can either have the protein shake, which again makes me, not a huge thing, but definitely makes my stomach feel knotted a little bit. Or a Hot Pocket, which is just like frozen shitty food, which isn't high quality. But the breakfast casserole got the potatoes, the eggs, the cheese, sausage, but good 350 to 600 calories of high quality food. And it's really good because I don't have to cook every day, right? Just pop it in the, cook once, and then this is day 4 of eating it. It's been going down well. And I think it's just like a portion control, because I never cooked that before, so I don't know if, I'm on a no waste any money budget at all. And so it's a thought, if I have to throw away some leftovers, that's no go. Like, so literally I'm so efficient at cooking, cleaning, and specifically to cooking, again, having no food waste, like legitimately basically zero. And so, but it's holding up well, meaning it's still being fresh, 4 days in. And so I've been having two solid meals for the past 4 days for the first time in 18 months, 2 years, give or take. So, again, literally documenting torture. Nobody gives a shit. Any other stories? Oh, food truck season is back. So I went to Damos's Grill again, and the dude said he was from Albania, but he said the ya, or like the yeah, like pillow in Greek or whatever. But it's Damos's Grill. It's like, I advertise as Greek food, so I thought maybe they'd do this from Greece. Said he was from Albania. And then I fucked up my Russian pronouns. I don't know. I don't know if Albanians would speak Russian. I mean, Albania, I think, is pretty farther south of Russia. But I said Ili as O, or as opposed to, what was the other one? S with colon. So I was ordering, he's Albanian, closest to that region. Let's try to bust out some Russian, and I fucked up my prepositions. S with cock, how, or how, as, что, what, and Ili is or. So, fuck that up. I said Ili as opposed to S. That was stinkers. But I don't even know if Albanians speak fucking Russian anyway. Like, I know they speak Albanian, but is it close enough to Russian where they would have any overlap of phonetic recognition? And so, those are my quick stories for today. Again, not much. Just wanted to get documenting crime. So past that, and it's just so degrading when I'm dealing with this Colorado Department of Revenue people. You are guilty until proven innocent by these mid-level managers. They are so disgusting. They're so denigrating. They're such terrible fucking people. They have never faced consequences for their actions. And then once, if Brad Boas ever becomes a human being that's allowed to be respected, then you're going to face as much legal consequences as I can possibly press against you. Because people need to learn to behave, and they just don't. So, those are the stories today. Moving on to the regular talking points. So, we have a quick history lesson that, of course, I did not prepare super much for. Just have the what are the Abraham Accords? Because obviously, in book club, we are reading through the Hebrew Bible, which is clearly a history book, and clearly just a structured history book like anything else that we give people. But I watched a free documentary from our great intellectual Jordan Peterson, who's still casting spells. He's gonna summon God with his fingers. What did the fingers do? Jordan doesn't know. The Abraham Accords, again, just interesting. The Abraham Accords are a series of joint normalization statements, initially between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, effective since September 15th, 2020. Mediated by the United States, the initial announcement of August 13, 2020 concerned only Israel and the United Arab Emirates before the announcement of a follow-up agreement between Israel and Bahrain on September 11, 2020. On September 15, 2020, the official signing ceremony for the Abraham Accords was hosted by the United States at the White House. As part of the dual agreements, both the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain recognizes Israel's sovereignty, enabling the establishment of full diplomatic relations. And so the signatories is Bahrain, Israel, United Arab Emirates, and the United States as the mediator. So again, I thought the biggest conflict over there was Israel and Palestine. So I don't know how this, I just don't know the geopolitics, diplomacy in that region.
haven't been in the embassy in a while. But just some sort of peace agreements. But I just thought the countries involved. And admittedly, out of my own ignorance, I consider myself a pretty good historian at this point. But Bahrain, I was like, who? Who? But that is it's a tiny little country. So maybe Bahrain, is that Israel or is that fucking? So it's obviously on the West Bank or that area. But again, there's just so much history there going back and forth. I just don't know. So I can't comment anything meaningful. But that is, the Abraham Accords are out there trying to establish some peace or something. And but I did watch Jordan Peterson's documentary on the Museum of the Bible. It's amazing. It's amazing. You have a museum for one book. I would have my own museum and not being getting denigrated by my family. As all those people gear up to go to the Oscars and you get all those accomplishments and Damson Idris, the dude from Snowfall, when all your family gets to go watch your shows and it feels like a full circle moment meeting Denzel Washington. Yeah, there's museums for literal books that I am grading word for word, and I've been doing that with everything I've been exposed to demonstrably for 7 years. I've always been doing it, been recording it for 7 years. And I am getting denigrated constantly, every 2 days, 2 weeks to 2 months at the absolute maximum. And so documenting my being able to eating, because I'm guaranteed it's going to go away again. Something will occur. Something will happen. But that was just seeing Museum of the Bible again as the top level intellectual, as a historian, as an academic, as someone who own a university. It's just like seeing these people given a curator of a museum. That person gets paid. That person gets to talk about history. It's like I would do that as a job. Let alone if my shit was actually published, I would have museums of my own. And I'm still destroying all of this shit. Like, these are all first principle, logical fills of everything I'm doing. And I just throw this shit away. And so I don't care. My life has been so denigrated, I don't give a shit. But you guys keep destroying history and keep stagnating society and progress for the future. 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico after being shot at. $50,000 reward offered by the FBI. That was in Matamoros, Mexico. At least 2 dead, 1 severely injured. They crossed into Mexico for medicine. What great healthcare we have. They have to go through a cartel-ridden town to try to access, I don't know what procedure they're going for. But what great healthcare systems we have here in America. I told you you're just allowed to access healthcare because the FDA is so competent and our accrediting universities are so competent, and it's really just people just play games and come all day. So that's fun. That's good stuff. Teacher resignations hit new high. I looked up the average salaries. I could get some rough numbers for Ohio. It said for both grade school and high school seemed about to be similar. Anywhere really from $35,000 to $74,000, with the average, I think it was listed at $61,000. I don't know if the $35,000 is for entry level first year or whatever. But that was just the overall averages. Just seeing, we talk about teachers don't get paid enough, and it's I see $50,000 to $75,000. That sounds like richness. Again, if you know how to invest, it's not my fault if you did not educate yourself to know how to manage money, how to scope investments, how to do the markets. Not my fault. But I did. I just don't have cash flow. I can have no investable expenditure whatsoever. And I've been doing these lecture series for 6 years now. But college professor was clearly a bump. I was just interested to see if there's a difference between grade school and high school, and certainly a bump for college. It said the average college professor in Ohio was between $84,000 and $175,000 a year. I don't know. We have Case Western, which is an expensive private school, but I don't. Ohio State, yeah, it's a great state school. Real good stuff going on there. We have a presidential portrait for Michael Drake, which is just such a fucking carnival level shithead. But I just thinking do we have any big recognized schools in Ohio? Case Western's expensive. Something like ODU, Ohio Dominican might be expensive, but in terms of overall prestige, I think there's a couple expensive ones, but not well known, prestigious. Whatever the fuck that means at this point. Academics is just pure fraud. It is just pure fraud. But those numbers don't sound bad. And I teach every day. I teach the teachers. Man's man, teacher's teacher. Because I just sold drugs, bought Bitcoin. Life is such a life sucks, cocks, dicks. John Paul II covered up child abuse as cardinal in Poland. Shocker. Chesh. Wow. Big surprise there. The Catholic Church covering up abuse, diddling kids and saying, nope. Here's a documentary called Spotlight. Oh, we all oopsies. Oh, diddling the kids. Here's the Holy Spirit, little Johnny. 2 small planes collide in the air in Florida, killing 4. It was like actually in-air collision. Not. We've had a couple like that Chinese plane that did a nosedive. Another person that did intentional nosedives. With this one, that one dude that drove his family off the car in the Tesla, and they all survived. But this was an actual collision, so that's stinkies for them. Tennessee's anti-LGBT Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally caught liking and commentating on gay male Franklin McClure Instagram post using his official Instagram account. He commented flame and heart emojis and love it on almost nude photo. So, yeah, what the fuck is that? Honestly, what the fuck is that? In terms of like if he was like an actual to me that just strikes me as closeted homosexual. Or you just like can't get the baby boomer generation. Gay is bad, but I'm homosexual, so marry a woman and then like the homosexual dudes' Instagram accounts. But from your official account, if you're trying to like stay low key, I don't know, people are so fucking stupid. But again, just hypocrisy. Any demonstrable, I'm in a good mood today, but any demonstrable hypocrisy from any LGBT, cannabis, any policy-making person should immediately disqualify you from being able to be a legislator. Immediately. But, again, we've covered the LGBT stuff extensively. Mitch McConnell, 81 male, is hospitalized after falling at a private dinner party. Here is a statute. Hear ye, hear ye. Here's a bill that should be voted into law. If you are eligible or encouraged to have a life alert, which is an American product for seniors, if you fall down and you can't get up, you just wear a little necklace and you press a button, get connected to an operator, and they'll come and help you stand back up. Literally, just stand back up from falling down, so you don't die in your bathtub. So if you qualify for that, or that's a product that might suit your lifestyle, you probably shouldn't be in office anymore. So we had Joe Biden, he's wrangling some more stairs. Mitch McConnell got defeated. He's down for the count. Hospitalization after falling at a dinner party. I'm not exactly sure if it was stairs, but I'm going to go with it was stairs. If it was just walking just on the ground, that's even worse. So, Life Alert customers should be immediately blacklisted from running for public office. But Damson Idris who's Franklin's state from Snowfall, is fucking British. It's like the 5th person is like, that actor's cool, and then they go to an interview and they're like, British as fuck. And you're like, what? So, I know they do a good American accent, so good for them. But obviously I'm a fan of Snowfall. I will be watching season 6. I'm just waiting for the whole season to come out so I can watch it in sequence and then do a review about it. 6-year-old who shot teacher will not face criminal charges. 3 people warned the administration with concerns the child had a gun. So, would I charge a 6-year-old? I would charge him with something, definitely. That's a real action, and clearly knew what he was doing. So, I would charge him with something. Maybe, again, the person lived. If the person would have died, I would have charged him severely. Certainly 25 years at least. Getting out 31 wouldn't be bad. But again, just whatever you initiate, whatever action you initiate, you have to deal with the consequences of those actions, good or bad, right? Collecting a paycheck, right? When my mom says, I don't want to pay your bills, well, under that logic, if you agree to a business deal, then you don't pay your own bills, your employer does. But the collecting a paycheck is taking responsibility for your actions on the positive side. If you shoot your teacher and you're 6 years old and you're cognizant of what you're doing, you should be charged with something. Regardless, additionally, I would charge the administrators or the negligence of the people warned that they had the ability to do something and failed to act as well. Biden proposes his 2024 budget proposal with 25% tax for net worth of north of $100 million and raising the federal income tax to 39.6%. I believe it's at like 35.9% or something, like a 3% increase for people making over $400,000 a year. A couple just interesting to see where like the wealth breaks are in functioning society. $400,000, and I'm over here like $50K for a teacher. Like shit. I'm like, yo, man, I teach all day any subjects. So let's get it. Let's bomb-o on. Let's bomb-o on these. I was gonna say the N-word. Try not to, fuck it. But I was gonna say bomb-o on these niggas, so let's just say bomb-o on these niggas. And so, but interesting to see where the breaks of the gaps of just like where functioning society defines wealth. But taxing unrealized gains is absolutely illegal. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Do not do it. It is shitting in your hands, smearing it all over your face. Do not tax unrealized gains, and just have a fucking system that fucking works. Should be able to self-file with the IRS cleanly, easily, and then not get extorted by the state of Colorado because somehow they have a mid-year statement of like one position being moved, and I never really made anywhere fucking close to $90,000 for short-term gains ever. So sweet. So just have shit that works. But it's plans to lower the national debt by $3 trillion over 10 years. Cool. Who cares? Everything All at Once passes Return of the King as most awarded movie ever. And that's Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Return of the King didn't register anything for me. But I've not seen Lord of the Rings. And fantasy, I'm not against it. It's just not something I'm overly going to go out of my way to see. And I like the avatars, some animations, alright. Just depends. Lord of the Rings, kind of like, I don't know, medieval time frames. Would be interesting. Just never clicked on it. But Everything Everywhere All at Once has 158 notable accolades. How many fucking award shows? It's just like every weekend we have the SAG Movie Awards and the Oscars tomorrow, and then Billy's Favorite Movies Awards the next day. And then, we gotta go to the Kelly Clarkson show. Jenna and Hoda now. We gotta hang around for Good Morning America. GMA 3's coming up too. And back to the award shows. Then we're gonna go to the other award shows for like music, but we're famous now, so we're just gonna go keep playing games and coming all day. Big cummies. But I was astounded to see the amount of accolades. It's like, where are all these award shows at? Like, how many different ones do we have? But there was 101 major awards for Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Return of the King has 11 Oscars, and Everything Everywhere All at Once is nominated for 10. So, getting more playing games and coming, and throwing parties for our favorite friends. Wee-hoo! South Korean government proposes increase in work week from 52 hours to 69. Nice. But actually, terrible idea. Again, we don't need to work more. In South Korea and China and all those kind of regions, they're all worried about their birth rates going down. So adding more stress, less time to raise family, that doesn't sound good for reproduction. And so it's just like, bad idea for birth rates, makes no sense in terms of overall productivity. And objectively, no job takes that much time. You have to develop a skill set, and then any expert at any given thing, there's no it's simple. Any expert demonstrates their craft with simplicity. So we don't need to work harder. We need to work smarter. But 52 to 69, that's understandable. The number at least will not be good for birth rates. 69 hour work weeks will not help 69ing in the bedroom, which wouldn't really help reproduction, but maybe some foreplay to the money shot. Oops, this is going off the rails. If you're not horny, you're not healthy. A viral Reddit quote of a random trainer, which is true though. Not die and reproduce. And our society at 7% maturity is rocking right between so fat and pathetic they're not horny at all, and they can't get the jobs they want, so you can't comfortably not die. And once you can comfortably not die, you're gonna want to fuck all day. It's pretty what life do be about the fucking. So it's pretty standard into the biological framework to want to have the sexual intercoursings. But if you don't feel safe and you're too pathetic and you just slog through another day and you need your her and hims, that chick is a whale, an absolute fucking beached whale. Sometimes depression is taking everything down in my room all day, or eating nothing, or eating everything. You're just pathetic as fuck and don't know how to make decisions, and you want to seek sympathy. And now we have fucking codified fake diseases and companies selling fake prescriptions to cure fake disease. And everyone's just like, oh, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. But totally true. If you're not horny, you're not healthy. Totally agree. What is in my headphones? Tech 9, Things I Like. Song 2023 just dropped. It's a bop. Tech 9 is a great lyricist. Just rips the beats. And then Eladio Carrion featuring Future Mbappe Remix, which is a song 2023 that also just dropped. Eladio. Yeah, cool beats. Yeah, so it's in the headphones. Comedian and catcaller sues Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez after she blocked him for complimenting that culo. Said that was her favorite big booty Latina. I am still waiting for the Tommy Lorraine, AOC, McCannahay, or whatever the fucking other conservative white bimbo is. It's kind of hot. McCannahay. Let's get a OnlyFans edition. I'd pay for that pay-per-view. Let's go. But AOC is my favorite big booty Latina, and so I would be disappointed if she blocked me on Twitter. I couldn't follow that culo. But his name is Alex Stein. The incident occurred on July 13th, 2022. Shit, as a guy, I would like to be catcalled. I'd like women to roll down the windows and compliment me. Nice wiener, Brad. Looks about 5 inches. Not too flaccid today, Brad. Looking cute, Brad. I think it'd be fun to be catcalled. Now, obviously, there's a little difference in terms of biological prowess. Males are typically bigger than females, not always, but so granted, if you're a dainty little female and a bunch of big dudes are like, oh yeah, that might be a little physically intimidating past the actual catcalling. But I'd like to get catcalled. Nice wiener, Brad. Looking cute in those gray sweatpants. But we really need we need the AOC, we need the McCannahay and the Lorraine, whatever the fuck, you guys know what I'm talking about. We need that collab. That is the collab we've all been waiting for. Lauren Boebert to become a 36-year-old grandma after 17-year-old son impregnates a 15-year-old. What life sucks, cocks and dicks. Cocks and dicks. That's fucking hilarious. Again, when would I have a kid? Again, I would have had kids young, but then my maturity levels quit kind of off the charts. But they're certainly by early 20s, I would have been a parent. I wasn't scapegoated to the point where I'm not allowed to reproduce or socialize. But I just can't take any of this shit seriously anymore. Her husband, Jason, exposed his wiener to girls in a bowling alley. That sounds like a quality family dynamic. Hey, little Susan, come over here. I'll give you a strike. Want to see my bowling pin? I swear, all these fucking betas, whether it's Elon Musk or Jeffrey Epstein or Jason Boebert. Hey, women. See what I'm packing? Just flop it out there. Just droopy. Here's my sack. Don't even look at the shaft. Here's the ball sack, the scrotum. Is that attractive? Like moves. The temperature regulates. Is that attractive? Just flop it on out there. Say that as rouse you. Berlin, Germany will allow women to go topless in public swimming pools. Seem to be a lot of, doesn't seem to be super new or novel to any country. Again, free the titties. I like titties. I would not be rude or inconsiderate. I'd certainly look at the titties if they were publicly available and they were just out there. But those are some nice titties. But I wouldn't be rude. I would certainly check out the titties though. So I'm for it. I'm with it. Vinyl records outsell CDs for the first time in 35 years. Obviously not surprising. Streaming obviously number one. And anyone buying? How about cassette tapes, like VHS cassette tapes for audio? But certainly more nostalgia or just a sturdy thing. Like I would certainly rather have a vinyl player. I've never had a vinyl player ever than going to buy a CD. So not surprising to me in terms of just the development of that technology. So Alaska Volcano Observatory reports 2 earthquakes at 2 volcano sites, sparking concerns of eruptions. Sites with an S, sensorality, sites. Sensorality with a C is a site. See? Clearly different between S and C, site and site. Still doing that. Still doing derivation all day. But it's uninhabited islands, so not much public concern. But obviously, the earthquakes both detected. They're worried about tectonic plates moving and the magma splooging out the lava into the world. Big sploogies from the volcanoes. But the 95th Academy Awards will be presented tomorrow, Sunday, March 12th, at 8 p.m. EST. Statues are worth about $400 and are being hosted by Jimmy Kimmel for like the 69th time. And the A-list, our A-list society, all of our hard-working virtue signaling. We have our one attractive white female, then we have our attractive black female, we might have a white male, then we need 14 gays, three Indonesians, 2 Cantonese, and a dinosaur transgender to virtue signal enough to say how good we are and how diverse our inclusion is and how we're welcoming all walks of life. Here's all of science, human species. Do something. Nah, no, we're just so inclusive. We just always report on the news. We're just always doing our job. Except if it requires us to change our behavior in accordance with statute. Then we're definitely not doing any of that shit. But again, all the musicians, A-list musicians and A-list movie stars are gathering together. Again, it would have been fun to get accolades for my achievements, but like my mother has said, they're never going to publish my shit, and nothing I've ever done has any value whatsoever. Just none of it. Just any of it. Once you offend somebody, you just don't count anymore. You're canceled. Literally, my mom used to say, I'm going to cancel you. Yeah, I'm canceled. The cancel culture, I'm super canceled. The Constitution got canceled on me. But all those A-list celebrities, I will never be a musician, as again, the resonance level of my voice literally scares people, sends them into the fear of God. Oh gosh, why is his voice so loud? Because I educated myself, I learned how to sing, I trained my body. Sorry. Stinkies. More education around illiterate people. Uh-oh, I'm out. But it's just amazing, the entire world, living from my 4th-person family to the entire species, scapegoat. Just instinctual scapegoat. Nice, locked it in. But Rihanna's gonna perform again. That bitch hasn't dropped a new album, but she would have dropped one song for one movie in the past like 10 years. Great up-and-coming musician, Eric Weinstein, he's just exploding, but you don't recognize anything I do, so it feels like I'm doing nothing, and I just want to pay my bills. That would be fucking neat. Be fucking neato. Life would suck less cocks and dicks if I was paid my money, or given a time frame so I could manage my money, or not being extorted by the people that are literally violating my constitutional rights. Those would all be like cool, fun things to do. But it's 8 p.m. Might tune in. Most likely past my bedtime. Certainly after about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I will be out of that. But I probably will watch the Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's certainly gotten a lot of notice. It seemed like a multiverse bullshit to me. So maybe there's more to the writing than I gave it credit to do. But just anything that seems like multiverse or like the Marvel Cinematic, those multiverse, like Quantum Mania, Ant-Man, that was a definite no for me. And so, still on Hulu for the movie and television reviews. And again, me deriving all of the written scripts of multiple. I think that series is like 91 now. So again, I've contributed nothing to any influence of writing scripts. Clearly not. I have no influence in this world whatsoever. Even though it is what it is the structure of all sentences in every context. Still gotta work hard. You know, I've just recently updated my resume, been applying to jobs, that went well. That's sick. But we had an SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, financial collapse. It was shut down by regulators, the FDIC, to cover insured deposits. I believe that's up to about $250,000. But I just saw a quick post on Reddit, didn't verify the information, that only 3% of deposits were insured. So I thought you just deposit your money in the fucking bank and it's automatically insured. But again, we have TD Ameritrade sending the state of Colorado fraudulent statements somehow, and then I'm getting harassed. And that is legitimately just complete fucking bullshit. and then our bank over here fails because they take your money and then they go make investments. Yeah, just, if you go to a bank, you have to have like 14 million assets for collateral that they can just steal if you don't pay back them. They're going to take your money and just have so much, they just have market share. There's nothing special about holding money besides people depositing it to you. Then they're going to go make investments simply because they have enough to cover their assets over here, their asses over there. And yeah, so you're guilty until proven innocent. Our society's fucking broken, man. Just fucking broken. Because the baby boomer generation, the generation above them, don't know how to behave. and then nothing fucking works. And we just play games and come all day. We're in foreplay, we're getting to the orgasm, we're all going, ah! And then nobody knows how to do anything, and everything fucks up. So, good job there. But it's just amazing. It's like, first of all, banks investing your money, and the converse is absolutely not allowed. And then the fact that you, like, how do you like, deposit a money into an FDI insured institution and it's not automatically insured? I don't know. But again, that would require you to be taught something about how society functions, like storing your money, storing your way to buy food and pay your bills, would be seemingly something you would do in school. But our schools are playing games and come all day because middle-aged people don't know how to raise their kids, and they want to project their insecurity onto you and then live their lives through you, and then just fuck everything up. Colin Kaepernick calls out adoptive parents' racism as he promotes new graphic novel. Compares NFL to slave blocks. Yeah, pretty poor comparison. I don't give a shit about any formality of recognizing a country. Again, I have no constitutional rights. I've never been a citizen because I got scapegoated. This country's a shithole. But I don't care if you kneel. I don't care if you shit on the flag. I don't care if you burn the flag. I don't care if you stand and sing the national anthem like a hard-working patriot. I just don't. No opinion. Don't care. Tucker Carlson on the Full Send podcast. Watched that fucking goof for a while. I watched most of it, but again, just in the background at the end of the day when I'm doing derivation, just to, any syllable that comes out of your mouth, and then I hear another syllable or another word, I just start typing those words down. And so, still fully sended in Cyrillic pretty good. Yeah, just whatever sounds and whatever languages come to mind, that's the ones I type in. But it's interesting because I never really watched Tucker Carlson, obviously a personality on Fox News. I just even like the conservatives loving Fox News and then the liberals loving CNN. It's like I watch both, and they're both just stupid people, empathetic people on both channels with slightly different oriented insecurities. It's basically about it. But it was interesting to see his bit. He's more his conversations about the UFOs and aliens. Again, we've covered that extensively. I have personal interactions since probably about 12. But yeah, the governments have the materials through some defense contractors, whether in a secured site or in orbit. But it was interesting to see that. It was like Tucker Carlson has changed more vocally and publicly changed his stance on, again, saying he was never into conspiracy theorists. But it's just interesting to seeing a baby boomer. Tucker Carlson, I don't know, mid-50s, young 50s, just eyeball and don't really know. But just I don't know if that's considered a baby boomer, but slightly less in age of my parents. But it's just seeing him talk about, like, I was never believed in any conspiracy theorists. And it's just, again, like looking out into space and saying human beings are the center, and then having any historical relevance of ego and saying, yeah, human beings thought the Earth was the center of the solar system, not 500 years ago or whatever. It's like, we're kind of fucking stupid and selfish and arrogant. And then, but he completely switches, which is good. Unlike Eric Weinstein, continues to just be fucking a criminal, and you guys are going to prison. Like, if you have a legal obligation, you are going to fucking prison. We can do basically whatever we want. Samesies, mismo, motherfuckers. And so you guys need punished for your actions. I don't care between here and there. I don't fucking care. But again, he talks about saying, like, coming out of the ocean, I'm absolutely certain a lot of them are surfacing. Absolutely, unequivocally fucking certain. From inside the fucking Earth. But proportionally, again, there's plenty of fish in the sea. There are aliens in space, and there's always a bigger fucking civilization, always. From the planets to our sun, to the galaxy, to Andromeda, to the cluster, to the whatever the next big fucking thing is. And so when I hear we can do basically whatever we want, that has to be the arrogance of human beings. But again, I estimate at full species maturity, people still have to go through puberty. People still have to grow up. Have any species, even if your civilization has been at technological plateau for 1 million years, 1 billion years, whatever, you still have to grow up as an individual. Individual biological uniqueness is an axiom I personally proved. So I'm certain, but in terms of proportion of how many are coming out of the ocean versus how many are landing, my point was saying, they're coming from both. But I don't know in terms of proportion, more out of the ocean or more from the sky. I would probably say more from the ocean than kind of surfacing from the Earth, or again planted deeper in the Earth or something. But again, even on the Earth, we have what, the crust, then we have the mantle, and then we have the inner core and outer core. It's like we're like these crusty monkeys on the surface. So it would not surprise me at all. And it doesn't even have to be like a civilization in the Earth, but just that's where like they have digging technology. If you can move through the water and fly through space without any detection, you can probably dig a hole or some shit. And so again, why would they be here? They're either from here, the physical evolution of our solar system. Tucker Carlson, once he starts talking about physics, is absolutely fucking idiot. But it's funny, he's like, maybe physics isn't real. No, physics is real, we just haven't described it correctly. And so, well, I have, you guys haven't. But you need vibration, right, Kevin Gates? His new line, Breakfast, he says something about vibrating, getting raised in sunshine, vibrating high, ain't no way I can come down. See how you can transmit logic through the word vibration? Because that's the actual ontology. It's a proper ontological word. But Tucker Carlson's talk on physics is hilarious. But interesting seeing him as, again, one of the more open public idiots that would have been. I thought he would have been later on the UFO train for sure. But again, obviously, UFOs everywhere, aliens everywhere. There's just biological differentiation too. In terms of, like, he talks about like some people approaching spaceships and getting killed by the spaceships or having brain damage from the spaceships. Again, just acceleration, you would still have to turn the thing on. Again, they're not completely silent. There would be some generating this dynamic. Whatever this material probably has to get moving, and then stabilizes into a dynamic, and then there's basically no dissipation. And so it's really, again, there's no closed systems, but you can extremely limit the dissipation of a given system. So certainly coming from the water, don't know about the proportion from the water or to space. There was always a bigger civilization out there. And again, once you reach technological plateau, people would not, like when the dude from HQ Flat says, I'm going to look into that, whether that's human or a human adjacent species, it's going to be, life is everywhere. That is a fucking understatement. But just interesting watching Tucker Carlson on Full Send. Because obviously the dude's an absolute Looney Tune about weed and cannabis. He was like, yeah, people be too high and too stoned and go back to Harry and Meghan. It's like, nah. It's like I said, I don't do drugs, I am drugs. But in reality, I sip beers with dinner and I smoke weed and consume cannabis edibles. And I do microdose LSD and mushrooms. Again, if you feel safe, any drug experience is not super unique. The only thing that differentiates drug experience is can it kill you because the ligands are differentiated on vital organs. And so again, hard drugs, soft drugs aren't a thing. But again, plenty of studies show, if you do, like I can't do coffee, but if you do cocaine or Molly, and like I said, I like psychedelics, but like I wouldn't even do like Molly. Anything with like an up, anything with like I do not need more stimulation in my sensory experience. I do not. But just in terms of general like experience of, was this like you had an LSD, bad trip, good trip? It's just like people working through their insecurities. Some drugs force you to have realization. But once you have realization, if you feel safe, and you're going to enjoy whatever drug experience you do. And it's documented well off. But that's it for today. Life still sucks, cocks, and dicks. Wanted to document some more of the ongoing criminal activity. So again, the we can do whatever we want team, make sure I want written resolution to this bullshit, and I don't want to be harassed, denigrated, or threatened at my home anymore. Make all of that shit stop. You can do so. You definitely can. Do it. So thank you for watching the Language Litigation Integration Part 188, Casual Conversations 100. See you on the next one.